we have made the trek down into the base of the Lost Sea, where we are essentially now going to get to take that long-awaited boat ride out into the Lost Sea. And of course, check out these beautiful, quite large rainbow trout that have been stocked in here. And yes, they have teeth. Let's go. So first things first, we get on the boat. You can already see the fish. I mean, it is beautiful water. Can't believe it is this crystal clear. So now here we go on our Lost Sea boat ride.
They are rainbow trout. They're big. Can they see? They can. They only lose about 20% of their eyesight. What was the experiment? So I was actually about to tell you about that. So we first came down here in 1967 as an experiment, just to see if they could find their way out and give us an idea if there was an outlet for the water. So we had them tagged with our name, phone number, and address in hopes that they could find their way out to a small stream. And a fisherman would catch one, give us a call, let us know. So of course the experiment did end up failing, and there are two theories behind that. The first one being we didn't have as many lights down here as we do today, so they couldn't see their way out. And then secondly, we feed them after the boat ride, they really had no reason to leave. Because of that failed experiment, we had some divers down here in 1973 just exploring the lake floor. They found a small opening about 30 feet underneath the water, somewhere along this wall over here. Of course, they ended up swimming through the opening, and what they found on the other side of that wall was another room fully submerged in water. It's estimated that there's about 9 acres of water on the other side of that wall. But as the divers were making their way back out, there was a minor rock disturbance. Luckily, none of them got injured, but they did compare to swimming through chocolate milk, and ever since then, the owners deemed it too dangerous to have anyone else in down here diving. So we actually can't claim the 9 acres since we can't see it or get to it anymore. And we are slowly entering into the fish feeding area. Just be sure not to stick your hands in the water. These fish do have teeth, and I don't want them mistaking your fingertips as food. Once we get a little bit farther back, I will start doing some circles and throwing some food out for the fish.
Do you guys know about how many fish are here?
We should have about 150 to 200.
Do they reproduce?
They could try, but their eggs would stick to the clay bottom of the lake and then float up top, and they would accidentally mistake their eggs as fish food. So of course we do restock about every 4 to 5 years.
And do these waters fluctuate depending on what's going on?
Kind of. We do have a pump system just to prevent any kind of flooding. Of course, if we didn't have the pump system, this would be pretty full of water. But basically dog food, and that is their only source of food. There is no natural source of food. Not really, no. Fish were really the only experiment we've actually had down here.
The other times that I came many years ago, they were kind of white.
Yes, towards the end of their life, they'll end up losing about 75% of their color. And of course, mixed with the color, not really the color of our lights, but the light shining on them with the water being as blue as it is, it gives them more of a whitish tint than what they actually are. These fish, believe it or not, still have quite a bit of their color. I can get this thing to zoom. Still kind of see they still have most of their green tint to them.
How big do they grow?
The biggest one we've ever gotten out of here was the one that's in the glass showcase in the main lobby. He was 16 pounds and 7 ounces. Yep. We have one down here that's pretty much the same size as him, if not a little bit smaller or a little bit bigger. Normally he hangs out underneath the dock. Braxton said he saw him earlier, but I didn't see him, so I think he was just lying to me to make him feel better. But his name is Bubba. I named him. These fish we've had down here since 2019 or 2018. They'll live about 4 or 5 years, maybe a little bit more. And of course, if y'all are wondering where the deepest point is, it's located right back in that area back there. It is about 70 feet deep back there, like I mentioned earlier, so you could sink a 6-story building and still not see the top of it.
Now, are these fish homegrown?
Yes, we do actually get them from our local hatchery up in Tellico. Some people, for some reason, think we get them from Indiana. I don't know why people think that, but they come from here.
Do they act differently when they're first thrown into this lake?
Not really. They've been down here since they were super little, so normally they just grow up here and
I was thinking about their eyesight and then going down.
yes, so which we do have all the lights down here just to help with their eyesight and everything as well. We leave the dock lights on 24 hours a day, so most of the time they get head over there, and that'll help with their eyesight and keep them from going blind. So most of our newer fish that we put down here actually stay hanging around the dock all of the time until they get a little bit more used to it.
So how often do you rotate the stock?
We'll normally restock about every 4 to 5 years. We just wait till most of these end up dying off, and then we'll restock.
Okay.
And if y'all look right up here, you'll see the rocks get uneven. That's from our last major rock fall that occurred 2,000 years ago. Of course, it started all the way back there, made its way on up, and then headed back to the dock we came from earlier. It's estimated that about 3 chunks of rock fell that day, each weighing about 9 tons. And of course, we know when it occurred because this drapery you can see forming over here. We need drapery couldn't form between 2 rocks, so we did have some scraped off and isotope dated. And of course, it did date back 2,000 years.
It's amazing. Stalactites.
And right up there, we have soda straw stalactites. You could break off a piece of that and use it as a straw, but it would taste like rust and be about $500. That's an upside down backwards map of Florida. It kind of reminds me of their football team. She's our most active stalactite in the cave. She does drip about 1 to 2 times a second. And if you get dripped on by her or any of the other stalactites, it's called a cave kiss, and it's considered to be good luck. Now, of course, for those of you that didn't get dripped on, don't feel bad. It's also said she's most active since we are directly underneath the men's restroom.
Oh.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm just kidding. We're actually about 140 feet underneath that first parking lot. But once we get closer to the dock, you'll see some steps leading into the water, and that's from our last major drought that occurred in 2007. We lost about 30 to 40 feet of water that year, so we had to move the dock out until about the middle of the lake. We were lucky enough to get about a 2-minute boat ride back in. Now, of course, it did take about 3 or 4 years for the water levels to rise back up to where they are now. Back then, we were known as the Lost Puddle. And of course, once we get a little bit closer to the dock, you will see something. You'll be able to see the steps leading into the water.
The water is about 10 to 15 feet deep at the dock, 30 to 40 feet deep.
So how long did it take them to get this like finding
I'm not entirely sure how long it took them to get all the railings built and everything like that. I do know that we did bring these boats that we're on right now down here back in the 80s. But we were doing boat rides by 67 for sure.
It's a what?
It's an iPhone. And if y'all will just please remain seated until I get the boat hooked up, I will let you know when it's safe to exit. And be sure to watch your arms, backs, and elbows. We might play a little bit of bumpy boats with this other boat. Don't worry though, it won't hurt us that
Use the
won't hurt
handrail
that
if you
paint
need.
dog.
And y'all can sit wherever you want. The boat holds about 19 feet of sand. We're going to be taking off at full speed very shortly.
All 0.5 miles an hour.
The water is a blue-green color because of limestone. Limestone helps give the water that blue-green tint. People who commonly ask how the boats are brought down here. The boats are brought down in 3 pieces, welded together, and placed into our lake.
Alrighty, y'all are safe to exit. Enjoy the rest of our trip over to the Slave Beach area, and we'll begin that walk back up together in just a moment.
So unfortunately, our boat ride through the Lost Sea is over, but we got to see a lot of beautiful rainbow trout. I mean, just look at how large this is. But now it is time to head back up, so let's get started. Will you take that walk with me? Stay tuned for that video coming soon.